Surrounds the death of Brevard County teen Anna Kepner. In the last 10 minutes, we learned a federal grand jury has indicted Kepner's 16-year-old stepbrother as an adult with her on a cruise ship. According to the announcement by the U.S. Attorney's Office, while the ship was returning to Miami last November, the teen allegedly assaulted Kepner and then killed her. The medical examiner determined the cause of death was asphyxiation. Teen stepbrother accused of Anna Kepner on a Carnival Cruise ship will now be prosecuted as an adult.
Well, the DOJ made that announcement today in its first public comment on the case that made national headlines in November.
Back in November, you guys remember I did a case on Anna Kepner. She was a 16-year-old girl who was found irresponsive on a cruise ship. And then I did a couple more videos exposing her stepbrother. Well, guess what? He got indicted today, and we're going to talk about that. Stay tuned, Fugitive TV. Welcome to Fugitive TV. I am your host, Ray Marcel. And what we do here is we take a look at cases of missing people or cases that need a bigger spotlight. The reason why it's called Fugitive TV is because I was once a fugitive on the run from the law myself. I was on the run for 15 years. I lived in different countries under different names. After I committed some white collar crime, I turned myself in. Now I own multiple businesses. I'm a motivational speaker, and I also help family members on this channel and outside of YouTube locating missing individuals or trying to find people that need to be brought to justice, because I know what it takes to be on the run because I did it. Well, this case of Anna Kepner, I was one of the first people that brought this case up and was talking about the stepbrother and basically was giving you guys the inside scoop of everything before the big media even told you about it. So just to give you a recap, okay? Anna Kepner, 16-year-old girl, was on a Carnival Cruise ship with her family members, okay? And on November 7th, I believe it was November 7th, and I'm going to give you the exact timeline of the details too. On November 7th, the maids people went into the cabin and found her underneath a bed, like somebody was trying to hide her. Unfortunately, she was pronounced dead. She was unalive. Now here in YouTube, we're on a small channel like mine. We can't say the M word because YouTube will flag the video, or certain videos will not get spread to the masses. Trust me, I tried it. So until I can reach a bigger amount of subscribers and my channel gets bigger, then I can start taking certain filters off. So until then, please subscribe, comment below, help me reach 25,000 subscribers. Thank you.
Hey, good afternoon. Up until now, the details surrounding Anna Kepner's the cruise ship have been revealed through court filings and hearings in her stepmother's child custody case. Now that the indictment is unsealed, federal prosecutors say the stepbrother assaulted Kepner before he intentionally killed her. Anna Kepner's 16-year-old stepbrother kept his head down as he left federal court in Miami on February 6th. That was 4 days after the U.S. Department of Justice initially charged him as a juvenile.
Well, they found her body underneath the bed. Unfortunately, she was unalived. And this was on a cruise ship, and it happened out in international waters. Now, this cruise ship ported out of Florida. Because it happened out in international waters, it was a big fiasco over this, all right? So, for example, cruise ships really don't have police. They have cruise ship security, which is not the same as police. You might as well have bouncers from the club on the cruise ship. It's pretty much what you almost have. So you have security there that are acting like police. So when you have something there, and no knock to them, they just don't have the same training as a police officer would, right? So when you have a death investigation on the ship or something like that happens, they're not properly trained because they're out in international waters. So there is really no jurisdiction. So because this happened in international waters, they had to come back, call the local authorities, and then federal got involved, FBI, they got involved in this. Well, at this time, I spoke with some people who were on the cruise ship, okay? I spoke with them, and they told me straight up what happened. They actually said that before Anna Kepner was even found unalived in her cabin, that there was reports of her arguing with her stepbrother before she even went to the cabin. Not only that, she didn't go there by herself. The stepbrother followed her to the cabin. Now, there is also another little brother, okay? There's another little brother that's involved. The other brother went to go knock on the door or go into the cabin. Now, see, the cabin was being shared by Anna Kepner, okay? Her stepbrother, so Anna was 18, her stepbrother 16, and there was also another kid that was being in the cabin too, who's the little brother, all right? Now, the little brother went to go, I guess, go to the cabin, knock on the door. He heard commotion and her arguing going on, and the stepbrother would not open the door. The 16-year-old wouldn't open the door. So I guess he went back to his mother. Now, from there, we don't really know the full story, but what some people told me, allegedly, is the stepbrother even went afterwards and spoke with his mom on the cruise ship, allegedly letting her know what has happened. Now, I don't know if this is true, but this is what was told to me. Now, I'm going to read you the timeline of the events. Now, the stepbrother has been charged, finally. Now, back in, I believe it was February, he was going to juvenile court, but they were charging him as a juvenile, okay? Well, grand jury has came back, and now they indicted him on the M-U-R-D-E-R, unaliving, not just that, S-A, assault, okay? S-E-X, assault. He violated Anna. That poor girl. So he violated her, not only did that, but then wrapped his arm around her neck, put her pretty much in a chokehold until she passed out and until she unfortunately died. And that was how she passed away. I'm going to give you the timeline of these details, okay? All right. So November 6th, Anna Kepner, a high school cheerleader from Tootsville, Florida, dies from asphyxiation aboard the Carnival Horizon in international waters. She was on the cruise with her family. So this happened November 6, 2025. And then November 7th, Anna Kepner's body is discovered by a housekeeper. Now, she was concealed under a bed in a cabin she was sharing with two other teens, including her stepbrother. The stepbrother's name, now in the indictment, they're saying TH because he's underage, but I already know his name. Timothy, all right? So Timothy's been indicted, all right? Now, up and before then, I'm just going to give you a quick rundown in case you really don't know about this case or you need to, a refresher. So Timothy actually was known by some of Anna Kepner's friends, and I guess Anna Kepner's boyfriend, or it was maybe an ex-boyfriend, that she didn't like the stepbrother too much, okay? He was allegedly always trying to make these advances toward his own stepsister, all right? And he was also known carrying a knife, and a lot of people just thought he was weird and just off, all right? So a lot of people felt that he needed some sort of help anyway. Now, when they found her body, like I said, it was a big fiasco because they found her body. First of all, she was hidden with life jackets, wrapped up in sheets. And so he tried to put her under the bed and pretty much hide her is what he tried to do. But the maids found her. So in mid-November, Anna Kepner's death draws international attention, sparking intense speculation after a court filing in a dissolution of marriage case involving Hudson's mother said the FBI is investigating and the Meyer child may be implicated. Now, this was how big media found out about Timothy, was because at the exact same time this happened, okay, Anna Kepner's stepmother. So Anna Kepner was living with her real father and stepmother. Anna Kepner's stepmother was going to court over a custody battle with her ex. So you get where I'm going? The stepmother was going to court and fighting a custody battle with her ex. Her ex is Timothy's real father, all right? So at the same time this was going on. Now, right after this happened, court documents came out where she said that court has to be postponed because there is a minor that's involved with this that's also involved with the death of Anna Kepner.
The U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Florida said on Monday a federal grand jury has returned an indictment charging serious offenses that allegedly occurred aboard a vessel in international waters. We will present the evidence in court and pursue this case with professionalism and care. Heather Wright is Anna Kepner's biological mom.
I'm just happy that my daughter got justice and that they tried him as an adult, because I was a little worried.
So once that happened, Big Meat and everybody else put two and two together, and they're like, oh, they must be talking about one of the kids, of course, that's in, the custody battle. Which one is it? Oh, she was sharing it with the 16-year-old. So that's how the big media got a hold and figured out who it was. We figured out, YouTubers like me, I figured out through talking to people that was on a cruise ship and then reading online articles and, just going deep like I always do. You guys know me. I try and get to the story, the facts, and I go deeper than what, the big media is going to tell you. So once I found that out, I'll start digging even deeper and deeper and deeper. I found a bunch of stuff, mud, dirt that's on this whole family. So Anna Kepner, all right, she was allegedly going to join the military. All right. Now, actually, I won't even say allegedly. She was going to join the military. She was about to graduate high school. She was going to graduate high school this year, you guys, and then join the military. After I found out what was going on with the family, I realized why she was joining the military. She most likely wanted to get out. All right. Because her own father had SA assault against a minor woman as well. His previous that he was married to, he married her when she was 18, but before she was 18, he was messing around with her when she was like 16, or she was Anna Kepner's babysitter. So Anna Kepner's kind of been around this since she was a little kid, all right, which is sad. But now that I gave you the background of that, all right, I'm going to give you a little article and read this to you, what's going on right now. And then also I'm going to read you guys the official document from the United States Attorney's Office. So before I read that, let's actually, let's read the the document from the United States Attorney's Office so you can see what they say. All right, so this is from the United States Attorney's Office, Southern District of Florida. I think it's Titusville. Titusville teen charged as an adult and unaliving a stepsister on cruise ship. Miami, a 16-year-old has been indicted as an adult by a federal grand jury on charges of, it says unaliving, the M word that I can't say, I explained that to you guys, aggravated sex abuse, and the unaliving of his stepsister. I still can't get over the fact that not does he do that, but he also was violating her. That's crazy. Crazy. Can't trust your own family. Who can you trust? According to court records, they're labeling him as TH. Remember, TH is also Timothy. So according to court records, TH, 16 of Titusville, was traveling aboard Carnival Cruise Line's Horizon with Anna Kepner and other family members on or about November 6th through 7th, 2025. During that time, while the ship was in international waters on a route to Miami, TH allegedly SEX assaulted and intentionally unalived Kepner. Intentionally, it says. Miami-Dade Medical Examiner's Office later determined the cause of death was asphyxiation, which I said is strangling or choking. Our hearts go out to the victim's family during this unimaginable loss, said the U.S. Attorney Jason A. Redden for the Southern District of Florida. A federal grand jury has returned an indictment charging serious offenses that has allegedly occurred aboard a vessel in international waters. He will present the evidence in court and pursue this case with professionalism and care. As in every case, the defendant is presumed innocent unless until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. So it says TH was initially charged as a juvenile by the information on February 2nd, like I told you guys before. The case remains sealed until U.S. District Judge Beth Bloom ordered it transferred for adult prosecution. So since it's adult now they unsealing things for us. TH is charged with MURDER in the first degree in aggravated sexual assault, SEX abuse. If convicted, the defendant faces a maximum penalty of life in prison. U.S. Attorney Redden, I believe we pronounce his last name, Quinos, and Special Agent in Charge, Brett D. Skills of the FBI Miami Field Office made the announcement. FBI Miami is investigating the case. So that is the official document from the U.S. Attorney's Office. Now, let me go to this right here. This is from, looks like NBC6, South Florida. So it says, a Florida 16-year-old is being charged as an adult in the actual abuse and unaliving of his stepsister on Carnival Cruise ship last year. The teen, in which they labeled TH as well, of Titusville was charged with first-degree unaliving, aggravated sexual abuse, and the killing of Anna Kepner. The U.S. Attorney's Office for Southern District of Florida said Kepner, 18, was found unalived by asphyxiation on November 7th under the bed in a cabin the siblings shared on a Carnival Cruise Horizon ship while on vacation with Anna Kepner's family. The cruise ship returned to Port Miami the next day as we planned, and Kepner's death was ruled a homicide. While the ship was in international waters en route to Miami, TH allegedly she was being assaulted and intentionally unalived, is what the Attorney General's office is saying, which I read from the letter. He was initially charged as a juvenile and had appeared in federal court in February, but the case had been sealed until he was charged as an adult. Now he faces a maximum life in prison. His life is ruined and gone along with her life. Wow. Our hearts go out to the victim's family during this unimaginable loss, U.S. Attorney Jason A. Redden Kunos for the Southern District of Florida said in a statement. A federal grand jury has returned an indictment charging serious offenses that allegedly occurred aboard a vessel in international waters. And then it goes on to say, we will present the evidence in court and pursue with this case professionalism, and pretty much what I read to you guys, in the letter. Then it also says a high school cheerleader, who was Anna, from Florida Space Coast, who was set to graduate this year. Like I said, she was supposed to graduate this year. Kepner had been traveling on a Carnival Cruise ship with her father, grandparents, stepmother, and her stepmother's 2 children, including a 16-year-old boy. They also have an adult sibling. The teen had initially been granted a bond when it was a juvenile case, but now the government's asking for him to be detained until trial. I hope they detain this man. All right, here's the thing. I can name so many other juvenile cases that are going on in Florida right now. For example, there's 3 young men, I believe, if I remember, and I might be wrong. I think the ages are like 12, 13, and 14. I don't remember. They're accused of violating another young girl. I think that's 12 years old. I never reported on this case, but I always saw it. Well, those 3 got arrested. 2 of them got arrested. One of them's out on bond right now, or got bond. I don't know if they're out, but they did get bond. And the one who was kind of in charge, who initiated it all, he's still in there, okay? Now, the girl survived. She wasn't unalived, but they assaulted her. They violated her in a park, okay? This kid not just violated her, but strangled her, and she's no longer with us. So he needs to be in jail. If these 3 went to jail, why isn't this man in jail? Or, he's a man now because he's being tried as an adult. So welcome to adult world, right? But the difference is this is federal court, so that's different. The one I just talked to you about was a local jurisdiction. So since this is federal, they go by a different set of rules. I don't know. He needs to be charged. Soon as they say adult charge, start over, send him to jail. But right now, what they did was they released him to his uncle. So he's released to his uncle in Hernando County, Florida, actually, which is not far from me. Not far at all. He's probably about an hour from me. So he's in Hernando County, living with his uncle right now. The teen had initially been granted a bond when it was a juvenile case, but now the government asking for him to be detained until trial. Christopher Kepner and his biological father spoke with ABC News by phone on Monday and said he also wants the teen behind bars. You didn't want you behind bars when you was facing some charges, though. But anyways, he needs to be arrested at this time. He is now an adult and he needs to be arrested. That is where the family stands. Justice needs to be served, he said. Now,
Can you tell us the status of his release terms?
According to newly unsealed court documents, the stepbrother was released to the custody of his uncle in Hernando County. He may not be alone with anyone under the age of 18 unless supervised by an adult, and he must comply with the court orders from his parents' ongoing custody case.
He's certainly looking at a maximum potential sentence of life in prison. It's a heavy decision to do because obviously, brains aren't even fully developed by then. But I think when you calculate the complicating and the aggravating factors in this case, it's probably the right thing to do here.
So what do you think? Do you think he needs to be behind bars like right now? Like they should go arrest him right now, or should he be out freely just walking around? Do you think he should get life in prison for what he did? Okay, now he's 18 years old. Do you think this kid, I'm sorry, 16 years old. He's 16. Do you think this kid, which I guess you can call him an adult now because he's facing adult charges, should get life in prison or should he get a second chance? You guys let me know. If you were the judge, okay, if you were in charge of the courtroom, what kind of punishment would you give him? Let me know. I'm just curious to what people are thinking, especially because he's 16 years old, okay? But the crimes he did do, some people will say that he can never be forgiven for those. Because not only did he abuse her, but he unalived her. And not only that, it was his own, yes, it's a stepsister, but still, it's supposed to be your family. Like I said, if you can't trust your family, who can you trust? It's supposed to be his own family. He is supposed to be there to protect his stepsister, not do that. And then, like I told you in the past, there's allegations of him, I guess making some sort of advances towards her. I don't know. These are just allegations. But what do you think? Do you think he has some sort of an issue, mental issue, a problem? What should happen with, as they call him, TH, all right? Well, I just wanted to give you guys this update because I know we were all waiting, especially the ones who've been following this case, waiting to see what was going to happen, all right? So he's finally been charged as an adult. So now we're going to see. I'm going to continue with the court proceedings, but on my channel, when I do court, when it goes into court, that's for members only. So if you want to see what happens to, him while he's in court, then join the membership below. It's very affordable. And not only that, the membership, I get into more depth on certain cases and I get more deeper with myself. If you have questions or you're curious about me, hey, members can ask a lot of questions about me, all right? And then I answer them. But please like, subscribe, comment the city, the state, the country you're from. I have people commenting, watching my videos all over the world, and I love it. You guys have helped me so much. My channel is almost at 25,000 subscribers. Thank you so much for blowing up my channel so fast. I'm one of the fastest growing channels in the true crime sector. Thank you, and I owe it all to you guys. So until then, please like, subscribe, share the video, all right? Take care of one another. Look out at your surroundings. Watch your surroundings. And until then, Fugitive TV, I'm out.